family, friends, fishing.
Yeah, beautiful fish. All right, time to get him back in the water. Thanks, Boom.
Yep, no problem. Good job, Lindsay.
This week, we craft with Alumacraft.
We build fun here, that's what we do.
This aluminum boat is built by anglers for anglers. We suit up to see this riveting process.
People are passionate about outdoor equipment. Get this. Americans spend more than $20 billion a year on gear. But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
Well, that's where we come in. Each week, we throw open the factory doors and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite gear is made.
Made for the outdoors.
It's a family sport. It's an everybody sport. Everybody has a fishing story, especially in Minnesota.
A fishing boat is a memory-making machine, and I've caught a lot of nice fish out of my grandpa's Alumacraft, and I cherish those moments. Alumacraft aluminum boats have been made for more than 70 years, a family heirloom for some, passed down from generation to generation. This is a boat built by anglers for anglers in St. Peter, Minnesota. Let's see how it's made for the outdoors.
Alumacraft built its first aluminum boat back in 1946. A company called Flower City built airplane parts and aluminum pontoons in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. After World War II, the company had a surplus of metal. Flower City president Harry J. Niels decided to build aluminum boats with it and name them Alumacraft.
And to think about coming out of World War II and building airplane parts and thinking, what do I do now? And he took his passion and turned it into what turned into a 75-year-old fishing boat company to this day, which has impacted many people's lives with enjoyment.
So this is the very first model ever produced back in 1946. It's a 14-foot boat. It weighed only 112 pounds and cost $275. Obviously, a lot has changed since then, but it's still cool that they have it on display here at their very own museum.
Check out the different generations on display. Current President James Irwin says these boats tell the story.
That's a point of pride for us, that people have this product for multiple years, multiple generations in many cases, handing down their boats because they do last and they're high quality. It's gone from being kind of a small company that was, really focused on the fishermen only to really being focused more on the whole family.
The company moved to this 135,000 square foot facility back in 1970, and it's still home today.
We're a Alumacraft boat company in St. Peter, Minnesota. We have two facilities, one here, one in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. We build boats. Up here we build the V-boats, and in Arkansas we build a lot of the flat bottom boats. We have about 250 employees here at Alumacraft in this facility. We have 3 buildings here at Alumacraft. Today we're going to show you a competitor Sport 205. It's one of our largest competitor boats.
Building a 20-foot aluminum boat is a riveting process. Back in 1946, there was only one design, and now there are more than 70 different models. So the engineering department around here is hard at work year-round.
I work with the design engineering team. I manage our CAD system. Obviously, the introduction of CAD has definitely sped up design process quite a bit. We bring a prototype to fruition a lot faster. This will be the Comp 205 Sport version, full windshield. It is probably our newest boat. Very large standing areas, casting decks, cockpit is large. The bow is the largest bow that we have here, so plenty of room to walk around. And
Staying ahead is the name of the game. Engineers are already working on models for 2019 and 2020. From design, it's off to fabrication.
We buy aluminum in a coil form.
Alumacraft uses approximately 3 million pounds of aluminum every year.
The aluminum we use is a marine grade alloy. So the coil comes into us at 5,000 pounds, put on the decoiler, and we decoil them.
The decoiler's rollers flatten the sheet, and then it's cut to the correct length.
People can use their boats and use them hard and still count on its durability and quality, and that's what aluminum hull brings to you.
Time for a quick break. Still to come, we'll introduce you to some of the anglers that build these boats. Plus, watch them work. You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Banks Outdoors, Aquarius Home Services, Ellsworth Cooperative Creamery, Splash, and Husqvarna.
Welcome back to Alumacraft. So when I first saw this machine, I was like, what in the world is it? Well, I've since learned it's called a stretcher, and it dates back to World War II and still works today. Looks pretty good for 80.
Still works good, and it takes a lot of oil.
Back in World War II, the stretcher would bridge pontoons. Now it stretches gunnels.
A gunnel is the top part of the boat. It's the top rim that's on the side. It'll stretch that material 1.5 inches on each side, and it'll pull it and stretch it, and that's what actually forms it into the shape.
One building over, the aluminum starts to take shape. 3 CNC routers run almost all day. The Mach 3 cuts stacked aluminum with various drill bits.
There's only a couple of them in North America. That router runs off from a pressure foot system where you can stack up the sheets up to 5/8 of an inch.
All scrap metal is recycled.
We put it in a baler machine and it makes these bales. These bales weigh approximately 2,200 to 2,700 pounds a piece, and then we ship them out in semi-loads of 17 bales at a time.
I'm glad I don't have to stack those. Check out this state-of-the-art 200-ton press brake. Dan demos how it bends.
This here is all 3D here. It shows you how to put the part in there, and as you're bending the part, it shows you what position to put the part in and what way to turn it for your next bend and so forth.
So you can't bend this by hand?
No. Well, you could. I suggest not. So you're just going to push on the foot feet. It'll come down. It'll bend it. Now, if you can see over here, it shows you that you turn it back around and put it in this way. So the parts are made, they're modeled, they're programmed, and put into the machine so the parts will come out to precision.
From small parts, we move to the V-hull. The entire bottom of the boat feeds into this sander at one time.
And that sanding process is very important, and this is what helped the paint adhere to the boat itself.
Next, the bottom gets its V shape.
So Jim, you had said that there's a couple of things that set your hull apart from others, and what are those?
You know, we have the one-piece aluminum hull, which having one piece and putting into the brake like this to form our hull, we just pick up some inherent strength by doing it that way.
Okay.
And then the other thing is our 2XB hull, where we're double-plated in the bow, but then we're also double-plated in the back all the way to the transom.
This is now the hot work area. Come with me. My name is Derek. This is Lindsay. Today we're going to weld a transom.
The bigger boats, they're made with a welded transom, so the whole inside is all a bunch of configured little parts that are all welded together.
Then it's handed off to avid angler J.J. Balmquist.
I just enjoyed fishing, and this is my passion. This is what I like to do.
You're here, your brother's here, and your dad used to work here as well?
Yes, just retired.
Oh, you gotta push down hard on this.
More than 50 years combined as a family. Impressive. J.J. bends the aluminum to finally look like a boat.
For the main part, when you start to build the boat, they'll have a transom, they'll have the two sides and the bottom.
Tech screws prep for riveting.
Now it finally looks like a boat, right?
Up next, it's going to get loud. And find out what this purple water is used for. You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Central Boiler, Summit Beer, Ice Castle Fish Houses, Smoky Hills Outdoors Store, and Magnum Research.
Welcome back to the show. We're building an Alumacraft aluminum boat, and the competitor sport has two live wells, one in the back and one up front. Let's now see their production process.
There's an upstairs at the Alumacraft facility in St. Peter, Minnesota.
Up there, they're making live wells. The Comp 205 Sport has two live wells and one cooler that we put into them both.
Julie makes the live wells extra large for your keepers, 55 gallons in total. She routes the sides, adds lights, pumps, and the aerator system. Back downstairs, the process gets noisy.
That's the noisiest part in the whole facility right there. They actually have to wear two types of hearing protection, the earplugs and the muffs when they're under the boat riveting. They're going to be drilling out all the rivets, holes, and they're going to be filling with rivets. And then there's a guy on the outside of the boat with a rivet gun hammering the rivets. There's a person on the inside of the boat, under the boat.
And get this, the freeboard is rivet free.
That makes it look nice and clean.
From station to station, the boat moves via carts and cradles.
We use these cranes and these boat lifts. Once the boat is built, and before they put the fuel system in there, they'll take the boat and they put it in the water and they pressure test it. They will lower the boat under pressure under the water so it will go up to the sides of the boat.
So it's time to give the boat a purple bath, and this is actually a pressure test to make sure there are no leaks inside the boat. And the purple water helps them be able to spot if there was any water, but right now, it's looking good. So it will sit in this bath for about 20 minutes. Rock the boat. I'm trying, but it's pretty secure.
Water's colored to make sure that we can see if there are any leaks in the boat anywhere. After the test is done, and there is no leaks in the boat, then it's taken back over to the end of the hull line, and they're going to add the fuel system in there. They're going to add maybe a live well and some other little parts.
The usability. I mean, it was designed by fishermen, and it shows in everything that's there. You know, the locations of the live wells, the locations of the rod lockers, the way it's set up that people can use it. It's designed by somebody who was on the water.
Time to do dishes. I'm ready. Just kidding. Time to wash this bad boy. Oh, look at all that stuff. Ugh. Dirty.
You wash the boat so the paint sticks to it, get all the grease and oils off of it.
After that, the boat gets pushed into the paint booth where we prime it with an epoxy primer. It gets a urethane base coat and/or top coat. There's 5 different colors that you choose from for accent. We have 3 base colors. Beginning to end, with all the cycle time through the ovens and the cooling off time and things like that, it's probably a 3 to 4 hour process. this was kind of a cool job to have because number one, I love the water. I spend as much time as I can on the water, even after having kids. I love to fish, and to be able to put my passion for something like that into something that we're building every day for somebody else that maybe has that same passion, that's really cool for me.
One of the perks of working at Alumacraft is this: a parking lot full of boats that employees can use during their free time.
Got a young family at home. I myself, I've taken almost all the boats that we have available out.
I take these boats out all the time.
It's been great. It's been very nice to be able to get out on the lake with the family using those boats.
Yeah, you can't beat this. You know, when you live here and there's 10,000 plus lakes in Minnesota, and a lot more now with all this rain and stuff, that you can't beat that. Fishing is just spectacular everywhere.
Sweet perk. When we come back, we suit up to finish our competitor Sport 205 so we can fish. You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Escapade Campers, Minnesota Rebath, Border View Lodge, and Absolute Trailer Sales.
We build fun here, that's what we do.
Fun indeed. Fishing and boating fun. Alumacraft says their foaming system ensures that the boat will never sink. Meet Marcos, the foam master. You're gonna show me how it's done?
I'll show you how it's done.
Safety's off, locked and loaded. Here goes Marcos. That's crazy, it's already bubbled up in the front in just seconds. Oh God. Time to foam. 1, 2, 3, pull the trigger. Check out this gun, baby. Locked and loaded.
Good.
Good?
Good.
It comes out looking like pudding and turns into foam. This is sweet. Time to cut the foam. So this is all hard now. Now we're gonna saw it off so it's nice and smooth. So Marcos and I laid the foam, and now Aaron is going to show me how to cut the foam to smooth it out.
Put it underneath it,
Yep.
and just go, and just easily work it through.
Oh. Oh. There we go. Oh, this one's gonna be light. This is gonna be tough. Woo! Carpet, flooring, and upholstery are next. As the boat moves through final assembly, every station has a team. These ladies work together. Then a team of 2 put all of this into the boat. Live wells, steering, radios, the windshield, seats, you name it, this boat has it.
People are connected to the product. They don't just build something, collect a paycheck, and go home, but they feel a pride and a passion for what they do because they enjoy the sport as much as we do.
Alumacraft gets its name thanks to Susan and her team. While most are shipped all over the United States, our boat only had a short trailer ride to Lake Minnetonka.
We're gonna go to a weed line that comes out to this little pathway here, this little water tributary that links these 2 bays together. But I'm gonna try just a couple over here, because this is where the fish are and I don't want you to get the first one. Just kidding. Their motto is families fishing forever. And a big thing to me is family out in the boat. All the times I get to have my kids and my wife in the boat with me. And you know, we'll just make a day of it. those are the memories that I take away from it, and I hope that as I get older, my kids will always remember that.
It's a boat built by anglers for anglers, and quite the memory-making machine.
Lindsay's got a fish, and I tried casting over her to take her fish. Oh, she's got a nice one.
Nice bass.
Whoa, Lindsay.
Yeah, beautiful fish. All right, time to get him back in the water. Thanks, Boom.
Yep, no problem. Good job, Lindsay.
And so we gotta we gotta watch out, because if it gets on our clothes, it's not coming off. And if you put foam where it shouldn't be, it causes problems.